Dementia Deja Vu, a caregiver's experience. Produced and narrated by Ora Burke Jr. Do you consider yourself a caregiver?
Yes, I definitely just describe myself as a caregiver. I didn't at first, but I'm definitely a caregiver. I take care of my dad. I took care of my mom. So yeah, definitely.
When did you realize your parents may have a medical problem?
She went for a walk and didn't come home. We had to look for her. She was a wanderer, so that had happened, a couple of times where we had to call family members to come and assist us to look for her in the neighborhood. And we took her to the doctor. The doctor said that they couldn't diagnose it as Alzheimer's at the time. They had to do a series of tests over, I feel like it was a couple of years. I'm pretty sure that it was before they actually gave the diagnosis of Alzheimer's. And then my dad, his dementia, um, he knows who we are. If we talk about things of the past, like he can tell us who he went to school with when he was a kid and when he grew up and stuff. But if we ask him if like a family member came to visit in the morning, he'll forget. So I don't know, it's a different type of dementia. It's not like my mom's Alzheimer's. My mother was completely dependent on us. My dad he can still do a lot of things on his own. He still remembers a lot, but then there are times when he just, he forgets. So
How did their diagnosis affect your family's dynamic?
well, we're four siblings, and you'd think that we were not born to the same parents because we all responded to the diagnosis and caring for our parents differently. I'm a crier, so I cry. My sister, she works in the healthcare system, so she was a little bit more knowledgeable than us. And then my brothers kind of didn't know what to do when it was with my mom. We had to give a lot of direction on, certain things that needed to be done and how they could help. And in the beginning, it was a little tense because everybody wasn't doing what everyone wanted the other person to do. But eventually, we all figured out our roles and what we were comfortable with in terms of caring for my mom.
Would you have done anything differently as a caregiver?
I would definitely, in terms of caring for my mom, I would have spent more quality time with her. I feel like the time that I spent with her was more taking care of her, and I didn't enjoy her. I didn't take those moments of, when she could talk to us, when, the way she communicated. If I had learned to communicate with her, um, you know, in the best way that I could at the time. Like there's ways to communicate with someone who has Alzheimer's, meeting them where they're at, which I'm more aware of now. But I definitely would have spent more quality time with her as opposed to caring for her. And with my dad, I feel like I spend more quality time with him, in the best way that I can. Like we sit and we have dinner together, and even though the conversations may not flow the way you would want them to flow, we still have conversations. I just try to enjoy those times, even though they're short. It might be a short amount of time. I definitely appreciate, who he is at this moment in time, and I'm gonna take full advantage of that. So.
Did any resources help you as a caregiver?
The biggest resource was the Alzheimer's Association, and the support group that I went to. I went to a support group. Wasn't really excited about it, but went to a support group, and quite honestly was my saving grace. It was, I had an opportunity to meet other caregivers who were going through the same thing that I was going through or had gone through it. They were able to offer me tidbits of information and, different tips on what I could do, and, just give me a better outlook on life. I honestly believe if it wasn't for that support group, I would not be married and have my daughter today, because they pushed me and said, no, you can't give up on your life. Like, it's not always going to be this way, and you have to have something to look forward to at the end of this journey, And the Alzheimer's Association was awesome. I mean, the care consultations that we had, the 24-hour hotline, we utilize all that with the trainings. I mean, the trainings are more robust now than they were probably 20 years ago, but the information that they provided us, I remember they gave me a video called Bathing Without the Battle, because giving my mother a bath was like the worst time for she and I. And so, just knowing that there are resources out there, things that help people who've done it before. So that was huge.
Do you have any advice for other caregivers?
Get the information about this disease and how it progresses, how it affects the person who has the diagnosis, and quite frankly, how it's going to affect you, because it is. And the more information that you have about it, the better caregiver you're going to be able to be to yourself as well as to the person that you're caring for. I went through that journey one time for 15 years and on it again. And I know that by far, knowing what to expect makes a huge difference. And take care of yourself, self-care.
Resources. Alongside the Roadmap to Caregiving booklet, we have many different resources from all our collaborators. To find them, please use the link in the description below. For any questions, please contact Nancy Koppelman at 617-278-0383 or nkoppelman@bwh.harvard.edu.